Okay. And then we okay? Okay. That's just video. Oh, it's just video a little bit on the side. Okay, cool. Oh my goodness, I am so excited. We have been getting together for a while to make sure that our schedules match. Welcome to It's About Time with the Blue Lady. And I'm so excited to have Opinionated.com. I have Mr. Antoine McHenry here of Opinionated.com and so many other things under his umbrella. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Mr. Opinionated. I'm excited to be here with the Blue Lady. It's been so long. We've been rocking with each other for years.
Yes.
And these sit downs takes me back to the first time we had a sit down. So I'm super excited to be here. Super excited to talk about what she has going on. And it's a new year. It's February. It's Black History Month.
Yes.
And it is time to set new goals and do new stuff and share with you guys everything that's going on. So super excited to be here. Thank you.
Yes. So as you all know, the Blue Lady is a stylist, a cosmetology educator, CEU sponsor on the beauty side, an event planner, things like that. And I also am an artist. I actually paint, so the beautiful paintings that are here behind me. And I do a lot of things, and I have a lot of hats. Just like Mr. Antoine here, we do a lot of things. It is truly time for us to capitalize on everything that we do. So, Mr. Opinionated, what have you been working on lately?
What have I been working on? Well, I like to describe stuff as a stove.
Yes.
So I always ask you, what is on your front burner?
Okay, then.
So what is currently on my front burner is 30 Day Breakthrough. Now, 30 Day Breakthrough is a group I started on Facebook about 14 years ago. And I started, I was trying to lose weight, exercise and things like that. And then I kind of did it. And then it kind of went dormant for years because you know how you start something on Facebook, a page, and you just kind of forget it's there.
That's me.
And then it popped back up into my memory, and I was like, I had forgot all about this. So, and I was at the point where I wanted to set goals. I'm like, okay, let's set some goals, and let's bring some friends this time because, of course, everything is enjoyable when you bring other people with you.
Yeah.
So, kind of restarted the group, started inviting people, and we set goals.
Yeah.
We keep people accountable.
Yes.
We cheer people on. So that is on the front of my burner. 30 Day Breakthrough. And it's just, a situation where we're encouraging people to break through. If you're a procrastinator, if you need somebody to cheer you on, you need somebody to text you. I call people. I'm like, okay, you said you were doing this. How is it? So that's kind of the thing. And that's what's on my front burner currently. There's other things simmering, but that's on the front burner right now.
I really love that, the front burner, because I think that, as we change as people, life gives us, life will give you some lemonade. Some lemons, and then you have to make that lemonade. So what has been on my front burner for the last 3 weeks is the fact that I left the salon that I was with for 11 years. And I started my own business, a business within a business. I brought all of my foundational businesses back home because it is now time to shift. And so I'm styling here in a boutique suite situation. I have my gallery where people can buy the artwork in a boutique situation. I'm also able to online do Zoom classes for educational purposes. So for me, the front burner was holding myself accountable for how I want things to work out. If I want more control, I had to take back all of my control and not be so scattered everywhere else. So with the 30 days, I have been on that page, and just like most people, I'm like, look, I'm stagnant. So now I'm ready to regain and go back on that 30-day journey because it was so inspirational. Sometimes we get down on ourselves and then we just kind of quit. But now it's kind of resurfaced and put something like that back on the front burner. I encourage all of my followers to go ahead and follow Opinionated.com And is it a by invitation only that you can get on the 30-day page or not?
The 30-day breakthrough, it's a private group.
Okay.
So if you go there, you can click join. So it's not, of course, you can invite people, but if you go to Pattern, it's a public page. You just need to get the permission. Once you get the invite, then of course I click
How many
right away.
people are on that 30-day page right now?
Currently, there are 280.
Wow.
Okay. Which is from where I started. When I restarted, it's a good jump. So it's really important that we interact. What I've learned when we create these groups, because we think that the old adage is you build it, they will come. No. You have to interact. So I make a point of interacting, and I ask people like, "How's your goal going?" And then I ask people, "How do you want to be encouraged?" Some people put text. I'm going to text you. I'm going to, if you give me the permission to hold you accountable, I'm going to do it until you say leave me alone. And then it's going to be like, oh, so you're not really serious.
Yeah.
So we need that. We need that sharpening, that iron sharpen iron. So yeah, because that's how we stay on top of what we do.
I think that applies a lot to what I do as a cosmetology teacher. What I have noticed that I have worked at so many different institutions within the Chicagoland area. I've been very blessed. And holding my students accountable, even if I'm not there anymore. Like I've worked at institutions like Erskine Reeves, and I've worked at Mario Tricoci, and I've worked everywhere. But the students who are on social media, they still follow me. So instead of just talking about, hey, Miss Blue, how you doing? It's like, no. Hey, how you doing? Have you taken that test yet? Have you finished school? What's the goal? Are you in the salon? Just doing the outreach on that. So I definitely understand the accountability part. I was just talking to a former student of mine, and they were like, oh, we miss you so much. And I was like, it does not matter whom your educator is. If I'm no longer there, whomever is there as your educator, get whatever you can. Soak up all of the information from whomever is in your face. You are paying tuition to the institution, so it does not matter whom is there. Get every penny that you can. If it's $5,000 tuition to $32,000 tuition, get your money's worth. Hold yourself accountable as a student to show up and be ready to learn every time you come in the building. And once you leave the building, what did you learn? Did you take notes? And what's the follow-up plan? Take your state board exams, become a licensed individual, and start working. So I'm with it with the 30 days. Now let me ask you this, Mr. Openyonated.com. What's going on? I hear rumors that there's a new book on the horizon.
There is a new book. There's book number 4.
Okay. I know I have a physical copy of at least one.
Yes. And kind of like when I finished the third one, I only wanted to do 3. And it was like kind of like the charm ones. It was like the power of 3, Trinity, I'm done. But like what I've learned is that when you write, you can't like turn it off. You're always going to be writing something in your head or jotting down notes. So I figure, well, if you're writing something anyway, why not share it with your audience or people who can relate to it? Because people can always relate to what you're going through. We all, I believe, like to think that we're just an island where nobody understands us and we're just going through this thing by ourselves, but we're not. We go through the same experiences, whether that's love, whether that's finances, whether that's challenges. We all go through the same thing. So the book, the name may change, of course. Like, of course, I'm saving it. It's called the unofficial title, but there is a title because I'm doing what I do on Facebook. I'm rhyming and ranting. So it's going to be rhymes and rants.
I love rhymes and rants.
So kind of like a combination of poems and just me ranting. Because it's healthy. I think it's healthy to rant and to write, which kind of goes with the whole opinionated, just encouraging people to write. So rhymes and rants. I'm editing now. So yeah, second quarter or whenever I finish, I think it's like 40 poems. So I'm on 20 something now. So it's gonna be it's gonna be it's gonna be rolling out soon.
Where can they find your other publications?
Okay, I'm on Amazon.com. So you can, if you put in my name, my government name, Antoine McHenry Belmer. Then I'll pop up the first name of the book. First book was second book, which is my favorite, Memoirs from the Heart. Then the last book was Perspective, and the first was Moods and Moments. So if you look on Amazon, I'm there. I have physical copies, especially if you're local, we can deliver them. But yeah, that's where my books are. And I like to write. I do not like to perform because I tell people, because some of the people that know me is like, oh, you can come and perform. And I said, I'm not a spoken word artist. I'm not a spoken word artist. I'm not a spoken word artist. I like to write. I like to save my memory for remembering where I parked.
Well, I do know a little bit about being, first of all, Rhymes and Rants is really right up my alley. What I'm learning is that rants draw more attention sometimes than actual truth. So, when you're ranting, you're more passionate about a subject matter. So you might go a little bit astray, but ranting has gotten me and you more attention in rooms where if we're just nice and speaking our truth and, hands slightly folded and we're paying attention, nobody's paying attention. But if you're going crazy on a subject matter, I mean, the views go through the ceiling. All these types of things are being shared. So I love the title, Rhymes and Rants. It's just amazing. As a former entertainer, spoken word entertainer, because I don't even want to call it an artist, because basically what I was doing as Miss Wallace, MIVV Wallace, was a rant and kind of call and response to anyone that came on the stage at a particular poetry set. And I used to love it. I really was very passionate about it. But some people speak of like things and events that might have hurt you in those areas, and you just kind of shy away and push yourself back. So what I found is that we can be gifted and be talented in many different things. And I'm very grateful for that. But because of certain hurts in certain areas, I have chosen, no one has pushed me out, because if I wanted to come back, I could. But I have chosen to pull back from those more entertaining poetry sets, things of that nature, because as a people, we can do things to injure those who are soft-hearted and just want to be like, just be free and be open and just have a good time, and going to different places have led me to the decision to pull back from those arenas. But I would like to, at this time in my new journey, start to write more. We have talked before about different books that I've always wanted to try to publish. So I'm looking to get back into those things, pull back from poetry, and just publish a good book for anyone that would like to.
It's and yeah, because I remember the discussions that we've had over the years.
Yes.
Like, oh, this is something good for you to write about, and maybe a coloring book, and this and that, and this and that, and it's writing is therapeutic.
Yes, it is
for me, and you've been through stuff with people.
Yes,
I've liked my one of my books. I had somebody read the book. One of my friends, and they were like, "Is this about me?" So it's kind of like with writers. When you run into drama or conflict or something happens, you may end up in a book. You may end up in a story. You may end up in a poem. And you may not single them out or use a name, but if you're good at describing things, and for me, like, since I do photography, I'm very detail oriented. So when you don't think I'm watching your behaviors, your cadence, just the things you do. So if you read something and you know yourself, you can see yourself. So the person's like, "Did you write this about me?" And I'm like, "Maybe."
I'm with all of that. I love very descriptive writing. I love. I've been hinting around about it in certain chapters, and I try to pull most of my worlds together, because I always tell people, I say, I am very layered. I have so many hats that I wear, so many lives that I've lived. I've lived the music life. I've lived the poetry life. I've lived the beauty life, the artist life, the friends that like to party all the time, all of those different pieces, and they're all pieces of me. Mm-hmm. So when I come together and finally put something on paper, if you were about any of these lives of me, I bet you I could describe you and not say your name, but you know that's you. So I definitely understand where you're coming from, because I have friends that I say we Josh a lot, and I don't want to go so far from the truth that, I take things like that out of what I'm trying to say, because I do have one specific friend, and when we talk a lot, I'm like, now we Josh a lot. But this right here is serious. So taking the elements of yourself and putting them on paper and your experiences sounds like something that is beneficial for the heart more than monetary gain. How do you feel when it comes to that?
It's like I said, is very therapeutic. It's cathartic.
That's a big word.
It's
what does that big word mean?
Cathartic. It's kind of like it's a cousin to therapeutic. It helps pouring especially like if you're in pain. Now my second book, I don't know if it was a dating situation. It was a whole lot of heartbreak. So I literally listened to.
Is that the one with the nails on the bracelet?
No, that's the first one.
Oh, okay.
That's the baby. That's the first child.
Okay.
The middle child, which I think the middle child was always the problem child.
Okay.
It was just like I listened to like all songs about heartbreak and stuff like that, and I literally I poured all of whatever I was going through. I poured into that.
Okay.
And I think it's funny. Like I got the books, and my grandma was like, "Oh, I want my book. I want my book." And I was like, "This book is a little grown. It's a little older." And, people think they've heard and seen everything. But like you said, we're different people. We're multifaceted.
Yes.
And like in the first poem she was closed, and she's like, this is not you.
Oh.
But it is me. But it's the version of me that you're not familiar with. Because I think what we tend to do is we tend to box people in, and we cannot see them outside of what we've created for them. And for myself, I think people are learning as I've gotten older, because people watch you grow up, they have you a certain kind of way, and then you start to pivot and you start to change into your adult self. And I think now people are starting to understand that they cannot box me in, or they cannot be surprised when I do something. Just like, for instance, like a lot of my Facebook pictures, I do a lot of shirtless pictures now.
Listen. So what is it called? Shock and awe. So when I I love my daughter. When I talk to Autumn's teachers and her counselors, they say she likes to what is it called? Advocate and agitate. And I really think that that's some of the things that you're doing. You mean the shock and awe. Now Antoine is on the cover. Taco meat just out the hairy chest. He out here, he got on the Zulu beads, he got on, the nails, whatever it is for the shock of it. But then you turn around and you got a more calming picture with a nice bright yellow shirt on and a nice hat or something that he might have got from the blue lady. But it's like, it's so many different things. The shock value, I've seen you use that a lot over the years with your photography. And I must say, it is very triggering, boom. I said, there he go again. Or you might be in the rain. Whatever it is, I love your eye. I love your artistic self. But that shock feature, I really do love.
It's like, for me, I guess my thing, like when I'm taking selfies, all of your pictures should not look the same.
Okay.
It's like kind of like a model-less thing. And it's like, that's boys. Like, you should not look the same in every picture. So what I try to do with the selfies, I plan them out. I look into my clothes, like, okay, what am I going to wear? What jewelries or accessories am I going to wear? Am I going to be outside? Am I going to be inside? Is it going to be a brown background? Is it going to be a yellow background? Is it going to be a red background? And I'm trying to create a different person in every photo. And then like the chestless, there's a whole story with the non-shirt pictures.
Okay.
Because growing up, I was one of the few people that had hair on their chest growing up in high school.
Okay.
And that what I've learned from people, that is not, being hairy is not a dominant feature of African American men.
Excuse me?
It is more, I guess, more I don't know if it's more Caucasian, but a lot of people say you do not see a lot of hairy black men. If you
That's why I have no.
Somebody told me that
right now, as he's saying it, I'm thinking right now of photos, right, of African American men. Oh my God!
Look at the men in Africa. Look, they're not hairy. It's not for what people tell me, it's not an African trait. So of course, there has to be some mixing where you pick it up. That's why every black man is not hairy. Just think about the pictures that you've seen.
So many pictures. You are blown.
And black men are typically not hairy
in photographs.
In the chest hair, they don't have a lot of chest hairs and things because it's not. From what I learned, it's not a dominant feature. And then if you're looking at the pictures in Africa, you don't see a lot of hairy black men running around Africa.
I am shocked. First of all, I am shocked. You learn something new every day, and I just learned something. I just learned that, brother. I'm. First of all, in the industry that I'm in, I'm always looking at publications. I'm always looking at pictures. I love fashion. I love anything beauty. I can't. I don't see anything.
Because it's not. So I had to learn how to deal with something because I was like ashamed. Like,
wow.
Because nobody was hairy. And so once I grew up and I got into it, like, okay, what you gonna do? A shave? I've shaved it before. But the thing, it's just like shaving a beard. The uncomfortableness of the hair growing back, and you have to constantly do it. And I'm like, no, I'm just gonna have it out there. And I'm older now, and you get to the point like, who cares now? And what's funny is when you get a different effect when you post a picture as opposed to when you put it in your stories. Because when you put it in your stories, people's comments disappear, so they can say something
off the
wall, ignorant or suggestive, and it's going to disappear. So there's no record of what they're saying. So I may put a picture in there, may get 5 people, oh, they like it, but in the stories, I get 100 hearts.
Wow.
So yeah,
I can't unsee it now.
No.
So this is something that you're saying to me for the very first time, and I cannot unsee it. Pause break. Are you a little cold? I'm a little cold. I'm management. What are you, producer? Girl, turn that heat on my feet, please. Thank you so much. You're amazing. I can't unsee what you have said. And just when I think about reading in just the romantic novels of things, I've always heard descriptively a grown, sexy man with a hairy chest. I'm telling you. So to hear you say and be a part of someone knowing that this has been a thing, it's
the visually, like just thinking of magazines, the colognes, you don't see hairy men.
See it.
It's not. It's kind of like,
you blew my mind.
It's kind of like a fetish.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's a fetish. And as a hairy person in conversations that I've talked to people, it's a fetish. So it's like for me now, as I'm going older, I'm like, do I need to do a hairy person catalog? Do I need to do a photo shoot? Because
I think you should talk about. I think it should be maybe an article where you're talking about what you're saying. Like right now, needs to be, and then like maybe that should be, the front page, and then you just go through it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh my God.
And then and I put more pictures on my Instagram because it's a different audience. Mm-hmm. Because, Facebook is more kind of like the PG audience. Okay. It's kind of like the church people audience. Okay. And of course, they want to know everything and see everything. So I don't put the same pictures on Facebook because it's a different audience. Mm-hmm. Then I go over to Instagram. You have more shirtless pictures. Yes. And then when I've grown, I need to create another Instagram called The Renaissance Man. Mm. Because, like, you see church people migrating from Facebook to Instagram to see hairy people pictures. But I made my page private. So now you can't just add me. Mm. Because now I'm like, what are you doing here? People follow you from medium to medium, thinking they're going to see something different. Okay. So I don't know what people think they're going to see on other sides, but
it's still me.
Unless you go, unless you paying, you can, I have an OnlyFans page.
Okay, now
that I don't advertise as much. So you ain't seeing nothing. You ain't seeing no intimate looks for free. That's a premium service, kind of like the premium suite, the VIP. That's different. It's like no.
I am so excited for this subject matter. Like you just,
and I think it's body positive. Because you know, as you get older, it's like, and then you know, being a photographer, what I've learned, just taking pictures. And I know I'll never forget. I worked with my very good friend Pilar Aldain. She does everything, and I was shooting one of her models for her jewelry. And you know, the woman just took her clothes off, and but she was a model, and she was, you know, it was hanging. And I'm thinking, as a photographer, since that was my first time, I'm thinking, did this woman just take her shirt off and she don't got on no bra? And she switched, and we were shooting the next whatever. But I'm like, okay, there's nothing to be. It's a body. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And what's funny, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the movie Carrie.
No,
so it's a scary movie. Stephen King.
I don't do no Antoine. I don't do any scary movies. Keep going with your story.
It is not even scary.
I don't do no scary, no Wes Craven, no nobody. Keep going.
But there's like a scene where she's getting ready for prom, and she has on a low cut dress, and her mama's super religious, and she's trying to convince her not to go. And she said, "I can see your dirty pillows," and she's talking about her breasts.
Oh my goodness!
And she says, "They're breasts, mama, and everybody has them."
Yes, that's
true. But that's what I've learned. And not taking pictures, my selfies, my shirtless. I'm like, people like, "Oh, you ain't got no clothes on," and I'm like, it's a hairy chest. And then now what I'm getting, because you know sometimes I do underwear pictures.
Yes,
you don't see those
pictures. I love them.
And then like I have people some inboxing me. It's like, "Oh, you don't got any." I said, when you looking through Fenty. And they selling drawers and they selling panties. And I said, what's different for me than than their model, other than they're a bona fide model and they get paid for it. So if you scrolling through Instagram and you see pictures of me in some drawers or whatever, just act like I'm in a magazine.
I think that is a very important thing to say. Pause, mama. What about the next appointment? You got it? Okay, she's saying leave me alone. I'm sorry. So this thing with that's very important. I feel that a lot right now in the beauty world is that there is a space that is being made. It is not female. It is not male. It is just an artistic space where we are no longer saying a woman's haircut. We're no longer saying a men's hairstyle. As far as fashion goes, the same exact thing. So now it's like, for example, we used to do a lot of extensions. So I'm doing women's extensions, right? And now the male extensions are coming into play. And I would have women in my chair judging a man who is like literally like, you're the barber getting ready to do male extensions. I'm doing the female extensions. And the woman would have so much to say negatively about a man getting extensions when I'm sewing in a whole head of extensions for her. And I was just like, how is this possible that you are so closed-minded at the beautification of what somebody wants for themselves and you're getting the exact same thing done? So I just feel like right now it is a time for change. It is a time for all expressions to be, you should be able to express yourself any type of way you want to. I love watching your photos from all of them. I mean, dancing in the rain, laying on the curb. You got the umbrella back in the day. I love it all because it's a form of art. And if you don't love art, then just skip over my page or unfollow me. Why are you even, I'm the one that's going to put a guitar. One of my good friends, Celeste, she would say, you won't do a lace front, but you can put a whole guitar on your daughter's head. And I'm like, she's right. But at the same time, that's an outlet of art for me. I want to do things that have never been seen before or things that I like. And I should be allowed to do that without judgment, without anything. But in the most creative spaces, you find the most judgment.
Exactly.
That is crazy to me, but it's definitely.
And it is to me. And when I'm creating, I'm not creating to be sensual or to. For me, it's a creative outlet. I'm thinking about like, oh, I did this. Let me try this. Or you're trying. Your competition is you.
Yes.
You are your competition. So when I'm trying to create a new image, I'm trying to outdo myself or try to do something different. So it's like, it's the ideas, just like when you're creating a painting, and of course you have fabulous art. You all have to be in here to see the art that's on the walls.
You can only see it in here.
You can only see it here, and I have it on my walls at home, and it's like art. It's and what I've learned, like I am an artist.
Yes, you are.
And growing into that because like I didn't feel like an artist, but I've always been a creator. So when I'm creating a selfie, I'm creating art, and I'm just using myself as a canvas. So it's fun, but I've gotten an inbox lecture about black fingernails in a photo that I took, and it was I was promoting one of my books, and somebody's like, "Why are your fingernails black?" and blah blah blah. Blah. And I'm thinking like because they're mine. Because you can't tell me what to do. So anybody that is watching this live, and I'm doing something. This year, of course, later this year, I will be 49 this fall. So in 2026, I will be 50. You cannot tell me what to do. If you have known me since I've been a baby, you cannot tell me what to do. You either get on the ride or you shut up. Because I am going to create. I am going to use myself as a canvas. I am going to be adultish. Within reason, because there's a whole, but like just enjoy the art, share it, like it, and keep moving on. Now there's a picture. I create a whole nother Facebook page because it's for me because some of it is adultish. It's like a black rose picture, and I'm in black. It's a black and white photo. I got me some black roses. There's nothing there. The black roses are strategically placed. It is one of my favorite pictures, but it's not on my regular Facebook page. But it's on my private page, but it's also I'm on my artist page. Because you have Openyonated.com, which is the blog site, which kind of talks about artists and features them. Then you have OpenionatedInc.com, which is my artist page. That is a little bit riskier.
I like those.
And it's artsy. So, we have to evolve.
Yes, we do.
And we have to pivot sometimes. And I see, and especially what's going on in this country. Eggs at Aldi's, like $5.96 a case and all of that. So if you are artistic, if you have multiple gifts, it's time to pull all of them out and start using them because, these people, they're riding away the Department of Education. They're taking this away. They're destroying everything where they think that regular people can't survive.
And where I would interject right there is that all of the creative stuff that truly got me through some of the hardest times of my life. My art classes got me through. My music classes really got me through. And the fact that we had maybe like introduction to art or introduction to music, and it really guided me through to my senior years of school. It just kept elevating and elevating. Some of these programs are no longer there. They're being taken away. So when Antoine comes and he says, look, if you don't like it, you don't have to follow it. I have been a plus size black woman with colorful hair, usually short, most of my adult life. So I no longer, and it took me a while to get here, no longer will I be abused by what you think of me and what you think I should do or whatever I'm doing. And I will not, baby. If I catch you, I'm not playing. If I catch you trying to interject your feelings upon my children, we're going to have a problem. Because, my daughter is an artist child, so she's had colorful hair and this and that. And adults will say things to her that are, what is it called? It's kind of like a reverse, kind of like, oh, that's cute, but, I couldn't wear that. Or, oh my, blue hair, I don't know. Some of us need to keep our opinions to ourselves because what you're going to turn around and do is you're going to get some really different kind of opinions from somebody's mama, somebody's friend, or that person. I will no longer be subjected to other people's judgments of what I choose to do with my body, my music, my voice, my social media, because at the end of the day, you can unfollow me. Why is it that you have such an opinion? Because social media got the game like really messed up. I was going to curse right there. But social media has really got people messed up to where you think that your opinion matters. Mm-hmm. It does not matter. First of all, it doesn't matter to me. And the fact that you're saying it on my social platform, you can get deleted. You can, whatever I choose to do and block you, I'm going to do that. We don't care. Mm-hmm. First of all, we don't care. And 99.8% of my audience agrees with me. So if you're not on that page, mm-hmm. That's right.
It's like, this is my page. This is my platform. People, like, you have to delete them. You mm-hmm. got to block them.
Yes.
Because they come to your page because nobody is on their page.
Ooh.
And nobody is talking. Mm-hmm. And they want to comment and they want to argue. You're not finna argue with me on my page. When I do something, I'll set you up. Like, we going back and forth. Mm-hmm. We arguing. And then I'll let it go for so long. Mm-hmm. Then I freeze it. And I'll delete and block you when I won the argument.
Yeah.
Because this is my talk show. Your page is your talk show.
Yes.
So if your page is not popping, if you don't have a popping personality, don't come over other people's page to argue. And they only come when they want to argue.
Correct.
You can be having tea with Jesus and they won't come to your page. But if they fear they can come and attack.
Yes.
And be adversarial, then here they come. I'm like, where were you when I was feeding orphans?
That part.
Or giving men's out or something. They never come
or
there.
Or when you was helping them.
Or when you, never. They're going to never.
Or when you was helping them.
They're never going to give you dips or when you help them. But when they want to argue or be here they come.
Yes.
Go away.
It's really,
Go away.
Moving forward, I'm just not having it. And the fact that, I'm okay with saying I'm not having it just shows how much I've truly grown. I don't have to. I will, but I don't have to resort to vulgarity to get you up off of me these days.
No.
It's a simple click. Delete. It's a simple click. Block. I really don't have time for those types of things. So with everything that you're doing these days, now I want to go back to this. Antoine, for the last couple of summers, I have seen you truly enjoying being outside. You've always been a walker, a bicycler. You baby, look. If you want to get on the right track, follow Antoine because he's not playing no game. He will walk. He will cycle. He will. And so I've been really enjoying your photographs of you enjoying nature. And it's not like it's some beautiful places in Chicago because it's not like you was out rock climbing. You were in the lot on the lawn. What was that, like Cicero and North Avenue?
It's like North Avenue and Costa, right in front of Menards. It is one of my favorite places because it's just a big field.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I'm sad, mm-hmm. I go out there or I want to do it's just being out in the open space. It's something peaceful about it. And it's right in the heart of everything.
Yes, it is.
But it doesn't seem like it. It's just, so I go out there with a blanket, I lay out, I just go and look up at the sky. It's therapeutic.
I have this thing where no matter where I am, whether it's the west side, the south side, wherever I'm at, if we're in this apartment right now, and I just feel like, Autumn, can you open the blinds? Mm-hmm. It's something about that light. Can you open the windows? It's something about fresh air that really speaks to whatever's going on. I just need the presence to be felt. I want to feel that light on my skin. I want the fresh air to blow on me. So I definitely get it. And I'm telling you, those pictures of you just being at peace, they help me.
Because especially it's always some negative being shared. Mm-hmm. If you're down the feed through the news, so you need peace. Mm-hmm. You have to go and just get away and just experience it. And mental health is a whole big thing because, during the pandemic, like from 2019, that was when I got downsized from my job at CPS. New principal came in, offered me less money. I decided to leave. So from 2019 to when the pandemic started, and this is something I didn't share, I went through a major mental health breakdown, transitioning from one job that I've been at 16 years to the next. I was when I was at working at the hospital, walking from the lot to work, I cried like almost every day because that big change. And like, there's a whole series of photos that goes with that I did with like the Chicago Peace Fellows. I did an exhibit that, and it kind of highlighted mental health and the problems, the troubles, the challenges that men go through, because it's not popular to say, oh, I'm having a hard time.
Wow.
Because as a man, you need to be strong. You can't cry. You can't break down. You got to lift up everybody else. No, men have problems too. Men have mental health crises. So there's a whole series of photos that I showcased when I was in the Chicago Peace Fellows in 2003. So, I tell people, it's like you need peace. And whatever you need to do to get your peace, you need to do it. Whether that be ending a relationship, whether that's a friendship, or whether that's a romantic relationship, end it. And it doesn't always have to be like an explosion. It can be just like we ain't for each other anymore. We can still be cordial, but I cannot allow you in this place anymore because you take away my peace. And that's what I'm learning now, as I grow older and get in different relationships, like, I can't rock with you in that way. Okay. We can still be hello, but I just cannot have you in that space because you created feelings of mistrust, or you jeopardized my peace. And I can't do that. I'm too old for that. We have lived, I'll be 49 this fall. As a lot of the baby boomers say, there's more life behind me than there is in front of me now. So I just I don't have that type of time anymore to play with people and not to play with myself. I need to be, I got a short time here. I want to be happy. I want to be impactful. I want to help some people. And then I'm going to go because that's the way the cycle of life goes.
When I learned the word no, and no as a complete sentence, no justification has to come behind when I tell you no. When I learned that word, it just opened to be able to say no with confidence and smile. It's okay. I don't need to. Somebody ask me something? No. Well, why? I don't owe you that. You ask me a question. The answer is no. No, I'm not coming to your birthday party. No, I'm not paying for this. No, I can't loan you that. No, me and my baby not coming to help you with this. No, I can no longer help you with that. The answer is no. I got so much peace behind no. And to physically see people throw tantrums in my face because I told them no. For the first time ever in their lives, you've never told me no. Welcome to today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Welcome to today and the word no. And it's okay because guess what? My peace is worth more to me now with so much tragedy in life, and not even tragedy, the bills. My bills is telling me the answer is no. It really is. When you think about how many times we have pushed for other people, did for other people, and not to say that we are looking for exact reciprocation, but any type of peace behind. If I helped you move, now you need me to help you with something else. I can't. And it's okay. But you helped me last time. I can't help you this time. And if it upsets you so much that I can't help you this time, maybe we were never friends. Maybe we were never cool as I thought that we were. And sometimes people take out, when you tell them no in this situation, now they're going to carry it on. Oh, she told me no, so I'm going to make sure I tell her no. I'm going to make sure I tell her baby no. I'm going to write a nasty referral. She can't get no more business. I don't care if I know who to. No. And you be like, really? All because I put myself first.
Right. It's because people are used to you getting exclusive access to you. And when that changes, they feel a certain kind of way because, or they may have been people where they've been tapping into your gifts and benefiting from that. So when you put yourself first, you block their access. You block their access to the diamond, to the gold, whatever natural resource you can liken yourself to. People get upset, but you have to do it for yourself sometimes. And I like the fact that you said we're not always looking for reciprocation, and that's not what it is. Because what I have found that a lot of the church, and I'm in the church, but a lot of ministers or teachers, they're like, well, you shouldn't be doing stuff to get back. It's not about that.
Correct.
I don't need to be a doormat because I'm a believer.
That part.
I know Jesus suffered.
Yes.
I know he did not come to get.
Yes.
But you will not justify using me with spirituality,
yes.
with God.
Yes.
It just means that I want to feel like I'm not just always giving, and I want to be around people who don't care about giving back. So it's not the fact, oh, you can't be always looking for something. It ain't about that.
Oh.
It's about, I want to feel that we are on the same wavelength. And if we're not on the same wavelength, then I can't rock with you. It's like, because if I'm giving to you without even thinking about it, unconsciously, and helping you and jumping in there with you, then I feel like you should be doing the same thing for me. Because if we're friends, if you love me, that should not be a problem. But if you always have to think about it, and you can't just hop in there with me like I've done with you, then we ain't on the same wavelength, and we're not on the same vibe. And maybe now I need to start putting in different restrictions with you. Because you don't feel the same way. You know, Ashanti, the way that I love you, when she sang that shit, and she's singing about I loved you, and once I learned that you didn't love me the way I loved you, I had to change.
Because you're paying attention. And something that you really brought up is, by us growing up, I grew up very spiritual. I had to be, Sunday school, church, go to the different fellowship, things of that nature. I was taught fellowship, and I was taught spirituality. What I was not taught was the business of church. And so being an adult now and knowing the business of church, because as a person who was I was a phenomenal choir member, from the junior to the adult to the ones that we would travel and get into community choirs and things of that nature. I didn't understand the way the money worked with, tithing at the time when I was younger, to dues and what they were supposed to do, what they were supposed to pay out. And it just seemed over a period of time like, where the money going? You know what I'm saying? And so when I got to know the business of some of the places that I was a member at, I felt that they did not want They did not want the youth to come in with strategic change. And the change would benefit the entire way everything works. But because some of it wasn't going where it was supposed to go, but we were taught give of your time, give of your pocket when you can, and it will all come back to you. But some of the strategic things were not adding up, and it did not take as much as they made it look like it takes. You know what I'm saying? We don't need a $300 choir robe every year for the anniversary. No. We don't need to go to the steakhouse for the anniversary. We don't need those things. We don't need. What we need is a new lock on the church door. So with that part of ministry and being a part of the musical ministries at many different churches, I was like, hey, we cannot continue. I cannot continue to get a new uniform every time the wind blows. We in all black, we in all blue, we in all white, we in all red. There is no funding for me, extra, sometimes extra sexy size to go out and get a brand new all black, all red, all white uniform. There was no fund for that. But we were expected to be in those uniforms, or we had to sit down. In some cases, we would have to travel in some cases. And you know that line, everybody that's got the $100 stand up first. So in different kinds of spirituality, learning to be more spiritual and knowing that, look, if I ain't got this $10, I might need to give a little harder of my time. And knowing that was going to be enough. Right. My ministers were not going to shun me because I didn't have this part of monetarily. But just look, Sister Wallace was here last week. She was here doing this. She helped with the music ministry. She helped get the little kids on the bus. Whatever we could do to make up for that, or even just to compensate in love and work good workmanship, but don't always depend on me to be there,
right?
Because maybe I'm having a problem this week.
Right.
So instead of you asking, "Hey, sis, what's going on? How was your week? We see that you weren't here last week." You just like, "Oh well, Sister Wallace wasn't here." You don't know what kind of week I had.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So building those things of myself and instilling those things in my children, they know how to help the elderly, open the door, please, thank you, all of these things that I was brought up to do. They know those things. And so when people look at my children and say, "Oh, well, what church do you go to? Why you wasn't in church Sunday?" I'd be like, "Leave them alone. Be careful." Because we do have our elders. We do have a place of worship. If we're not there on Sunday, my pastor knows what I do for a living. She knows that most Sundays I am working, and she believes in us and she loves us. So, being a part of a better spiritual place now has been truly a blessing from some places that I've been. You know what I'm saying?
It's all, and it relates for me. It relates to community. Yeah. Because community is so big, and I don't think that's what I do like with a lot of, in not my non-for-profit realm, working with building, having a place where you can plug in with people, diverse, but with like minds, and all working towards the same place. Just like you said, I may not have it monetarily this year, but I'm making a contribution. But there should also be a component where if I don't have, that I can plug in because I've invested in the past, so that when it's community, if I don't have, I should be able to get, and then I'm back in a place where I can give and somebody else can get. And I don't think places are curating those type of environments. That it's not always bring. Sometimes I need. Sometimes I'm coming to the place where I'm broke down. Maybe financially, I may be broke down spiritually. I may be broke down physically. Now I have a history of giving to the collective community, but now I need the collective community to give to me.
And there should be a safe space. There should be somewhere for you to go and for you to actually get what you need, because the fact is that what's happening now is, I wrote down the word machine. It seems to be more of a machine than, for a lack of a better word, matrimony. Because the wedding should be we come together, but that's not what's happening. It's just a machine. Pay your money and then just sit there. Pay your money and then just do this. No, community is first. How do we help each other in times of need? There are less advocates. Everybody is just looking for addition. Everybody got their hand out. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to show up and just feed the multitudes without their hand out for something. You should have a charitable heart. Absolutely. At least once a month. What you doing? I remember I was in the time stop. Listen, if you have never had a time, you shouldn't talk to me. So what I'm talking about is, hey, sugar, what I'm talking about is having a time in your life where you just didn't have it. And we had somebody come to my home and they blessed us with two full Thanksgiving dinners one time. And so I was so happy and I was so thankful that I called them back the next year. I was like, hey, I'm in a better place. Can I give you 5 dinners? And you pass them out. And they was like, yes. And then me and my kids, we went to the store, baby. We got the turkey, the ham, the dressing. And I was so proud to be able to give back into something that gave to me. You know what I'm saying? We all need to come back to giving back into a place that gives to you. Now, we're going to continue this because this year, I'm so excited to be here with you. But now we're going to transition for 2 minutes. We're going to transition to change the cameras out. And I don't think we should let it go. How many of you got? May, how many of you got on yours? We're just going to change the cameras around and keep talking because we are in the gallery. We are in the home suite. So we're going to get our best angles together and keep this conversation going. If you would like to tag and share, this is Openyonated.com and Blue Lady Productions. We are having a great time at the new Gallery Salon Suite where I am working on President's Day because the federal changes that are happening really affecting me, so that I'm working on the federal holiday. Some people get paid, but the only way I get paid on this here federal holiday is to work.
It's to work.
Is to work. So I'm changing out, but we are still on live. Tag and share. All right. Yes! You got one. Thank you. I'm gonna just put this camera on there. Okay. Hey, sugar. All right. Now we don't want to get my client because she ain't signed her affidavit twice. But what we want to do is make sure that we can see, like, I don't know. Yeah, he could. I think he could.
Thanks.
Or he could say it. Well, I don't know. Do it. Oh, he can stay at the thing. Oh, usually I'm warm. I'm working. Yeah. I got bored and I had to rewrite it for fun. Okay. So did you like it? Yeah, I do. I had it up for about 4 days and I went to the store and I'm like, I was bored. Do me a favor, stand up real quick.
Yeah, what's Max said, is that Miss Wallace? Yes, it was Miss Wallace, Max.
Always. Hey, y'all.
Hey, James was watching. Almeida was watching.
Yeah.
Brother Chris was watching. My father was watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. Yeah. I'm going to let you all get some of this art. Fantastic. So I'm about to flip the camera. Bam. If you do not have any art in your house, I am going to encourage you to get you some art. This is Black History Month. This is black art. Beautiful. You can see the craftsmanship. Look at the details. Look at the details. I want you to make sure that you get the Blue Lady and come and get you some art. All kinds of things. This is her home gallery. Flip the camera again. I'm about to go to the wall. Give you a view of some more stuff. Look at that. Right. Look at that. Music lovers, guitar. That looked like something that Prince would have. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So we want you to share this video. We want you to like, but we want you to get you some art on your wall. Not just any art. Get you some Blue Lady art. Look at that. Details, details. If you do not have any art on your walls, you need to get you some. All right, I got one more. Look at that. What are those crystals?
Yeah.
Look at that beard.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying myself more and more bearded men. I love those. You know, I remember you doing a beard game for a while.
You know what? I don't do it as much. Well, you know what's something funny is I dyed my beard with the Nova, the little Nova stuff.
Okay.
And now I want my gray hair back in my beard. Because it's, but yeah, so I dyed to try something new, trying to look a little bit younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm waiting for the gray hair to pop back in because it's this little brown stuff. Look at that. Look at that. And that is that's a huge painting.
Yeah.
So look at that.
Thank you so much.
So you all need to get some art on your wall. And art on the wall is therapeutic too.
Yeah.
For me, like when I walk in the house, I still got my dancing ballerinas. I got the little girl, the woman meditating on the sunset.
Yeah.
So art just does something.
Yeah, I love that. I really, really do.
And it's
just the elevation of, watching my work from people who are art lovers like yourself, who have been with me forever on this art journey. I'm just really thankful for people who have continued with me. Because I got some people that's got stuff that they've had, they've been buying it since I started selling it. So I didn't sell the artwork. I want to say maybe it was like 10 years ago when I first started. Remember the hat ladies I had just started with them? And it was like, you know what? This is something that I can do that I already do because I love it. So let's do it and see if we can, make a little change, see if what's to it. And I'm so grateful for the people that have been buying it. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much. I'm like, let's not some words. That what was the word? You had a word, capital something. You said it was something. Art is Actually, it was black art. You said something. Cultural capital. Cultural capital. Art is cultural capital. I learned that from Tequila Shabazz. She is started this movement called Biba, but now she is like an entrepreneur extraordinaire. She is a business mogul. But yeah, art is cultural capital. Yeah. Get you some cultural capital on your walls. Cultural capital, and I'm thankful. I think I see Jackie Hill on my thing. Hey, Jackie. A lot of my people are repeat buyers. Right. So they've been with me on the journey, and I'm so grateful and thankful for them. Because the truth is that when you're an artist, you're really seeing yourself through the pieces that the people pick. Right. So I have pieces that little girls, ballerinas. I go to states where I like to draw aquatic animals. And it's like, wow. It's like, sometimes, yeah, this is an outlet. It gives me peace. They may have little choices. Sometimes I just sit up and I figure out what textile I'm going to use. Am I going to use acrylic paint? Am I going to use glass? Am I going to use buttons? Am I going to use wood? And I'm just like discovering myself through the artwork is really, really a joy to do. And I sometimes just sit up and sort pennies. Some of the artwork has pennies on it, and I sort the brand new ones from the old ones, and I stopped trying to color them all. And what I did was I was like, hey, in this darker piece of the artwork to represent darker skin, I'm going to use a darker penny there. The more used ones. And I'm just like, this is just a great discovery that I have in different mediums. I am discovering myself. I'm just lazy. It's all. Lazy. And anything I Google, I'm like, artwork with pennies, artwork with wood. It's so many different genres. Right. I can express myself. I'm very delighted at the chance to do it. It's all in the details. Just like this one. This is leather. All of this flat, different pieces of leather. Yep. Look at the details in that. Yep. Any of them I can find. People say, and what made you do this? I'm like, I'm going to use anything I find. Anything you find. And this for those you Rolling Stone fans. Ooh, yeah. Those are house pieces. Those pieces, look, the pieces that shall not move. I'm telling the pieces that are not moving. The Rolling Stone and the two ladies. Rolling Stone and the two Rolling Stone, I love Mick Jagger. And I did that collage over that I found. Nice. Let me, mix my love. I love it so much. Huh? Pastor Derek? Hey, GKC, love you so much. Good to see you. So, yes. So, that's a little bit of what we have going on here. I'm about to pop off of my feed for a minute. But, yeah. Thank you all for joining. I'm going to make my post public because theirs on private. I want you to like, share, follow both of us on social media. It is some wonderful things going on, upcoming things, and pop by the Blue Lady to pick up some art. If you and the videos don't do it any justice, you have to see it in person and see all these different things that she's using in one painting to bring it all together. So thank you so much. Peace out and see you next time.